Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, we had seen last 2 days US market recovered what it lost day before that. The bounce back was mainly driven by the good corporate results which has come over there. Almost 15% of the S&P 500 in US has come up with the results, and of that 85% of the company has reported result ahead of expectations. So the good result has taken the market in a positive territory. And similar thing got reflected even in Asian market also. They are also has turned positive, and futures of the US market are also a bit positive today. So all scenario has indicated on a positive direction. Whereas in the commodity, if we see, the oil has bounced back from $68 to now again $72, and aluminum and coppers are marginally up, whereas iron ore is seeing some corrections. That is down by around $10 or around 3-4% in last 2 days. This is mainly because of the expectation of lower production of steel in the second half in China, and this will lead to lower demand for iron ore and also increasing inventory at port in the China. Apart from that, steel prices are also down by around 1% in last 2 days. Now I request technical team to take up first.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. See, last two trading session, we see some profit booking in upper range and Nifty almost trading in higher end, that is 15,930, level and upside, and we see some profit booking in higher level. Today, we expect positive open and remain positive during the day. Last trading session, we see some pressure and Nifty almost touch 50 DMA and bounce back that important support zone. But upside immediate intraday resistance for Nifty 15,730. If Nifty managed to close above 15,730 level, then we expect further momentum towards 15,900 and 15,970 level. But if Nifty fail close above 15,730, then we again see the sideways movement between 15,730 and downside 15,540 level. So we can expect open positive note. We can wait for if Nifty sustain this level for first half, then we expect further momentum in index. Upside 15,730 is an important resistance, then 15,750 and then 15,800 for upper side, and downside immediate support at place 15,570, 550 and 15,470 at downside. Bank Nifty also trade the important support level, that is 100 DMA, and we can see the further positive momentum. Expect Bank Nifty above 34 850 is close above that important resistance level, then we expect further positive momentum. Otherwise, Bank Nifty trading also between this range 34 850 at upper side and downside 34 to 50 at downside. So we expect both index open a positive, but we can wait for important breakout. If break that important level, then we expect further momentum. Otherwise, it will trading in sideways zone. Nifty Finance also trade important support zone, that is downside 16,270 and 16,150 range. Upside immediate resistance place at 16,400, and if goes above that level, then we expect further momentum 16,500. In stock specific, we already seen positive momentum in cement sector. We can expect more momentum in cement, and pharma also looks at current level positive. So we can expect further momentum in Orunda Pharma. Upside target 1020 1030 in upside, and maintain stop loss 599 for downside. That's it for technical derivative guy carry.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. Good morning, everyone. So as per derivative data, as we are seeing from last 15 to 20 days that Nifty is currently trading in a range of 15,600 to 15,900 level. Till the close below 15,600 level, we should hold the long positions, and Nifty third time Nifty has seen the reversal from 15,600 level. In Tuesday's trading session, we have seen the on 15,700 strike. We have seen major call writer positions have been added up. So in today's trading session, it is necessary for Nifty to remain stable above 15,700 level and give closing above 15,700 level, as we are seeing that the PCR OI on Tuesday trading session closed at 0.81. So it is trading at a very oversold zone. So we expect a sharp recovery from the Nifty also and the PCR OI also. As we are seeing that the Nifty SGX is already showing 100 points up, so Nifty is likely to open around 15,750 to 15,730 mark. At that point of time, we expect PCROI to again shoot up around 0.89 to 0.91. So from that level, we expect PCROI to reach towards 0.98 to 1 level. So currently, we are expecting a strong momentum in the market. But if in today's trading session Nifty manages to give closing above 15,700 level, then we expect momentum to continue towards 15,840 to 15,900 zone. Currently, the strength remains range bound in the market till the further breakout of the two levels 15,600 and 15,900. Till the breakout of this level, after that only the trend would be clear in the market, but till that point of time it will remain range bound. As per stock specific, we have seen that the Nifty cement and Nifty pharma sector, both these sectors have given a major breakout on the indexes level. So we expect these two counters from the sector to remain positive. From that, Ambuja Cement and ACC looks positive on the higher end, and from the pharma sector, we expect Cipla to remain positive for next coming trading sessions. Thank you. That's it from the derivative front.
Good morning. Bajaj Finance result was below expectation as provisions during the quarter were much above estimates. Also, GNPA increased from 1.8% in March to 3%. On the positive side, the business transformation the company is talking about from October onwards, wherein they will be launching a super app and which will have many businesses combined in one. For example, mutual funds, stocks, insurance, and other marketplaces as well. So that would protect the stock on the downside. If at all there is a steep decline, then one should look at buying the stock from a long-term perspective. Bajaj Finserv, again a holding company for Bajaj Finance. But apart from finance's result, the performance of general insurance declined, whereas life insurance improved. So it was a mixed bag. CRISIL result improved. Quarter-on-quarter growth was healthy at 7%, considering lockdown. Year-on-year growth was 12%. This growth was posted despite degrowth in the ratings business, and it was mainly led by research services, which showed strong growth, which is around two-thirds of the total revenue. So we are positive on CRISIL. It should continue to outperform. ICICI Securities result was absolutely flat, no growth in revenue and profits on quarter basis, despite other smaller brokers having witnessed growth. Market share in cash segment is also declining, so we are neutral over here. ICICI Prudential Life Insurance result was above expectation. VNB grew by 78% year on year compared to 40% for HDFC Life. So it has also gained market share. This higher VNB number came because of increase in margins, which was led by a higher share of protection segment, where margins are very high. So overall, we expect VNB to double over next 3 years, and similarly, it is also possible that stock will kind of double in 3 years. We are positive here. Mahindra CIE result was in line. It's an auto ancillary company. About 50% revenues coming from Europe and rest from India. Revenue and EBITDA declined by around 8% quarter on quarter, which is good considering the domestic scenario was very bad. Stock is also trading at some discount to other leading auto ancillaries. So overall, we are positive on Mahindra CIE. That's it from my side.
Hello, good morning. So CA Towers announced its result yesterday. It was in line with expectation. Revenue grew by 17% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, but it grew by 70% on a YOY basis. EBITDA margin came at 9.1%, which was below the 12% quarter-on-quarter, but it was in line with 9.4% YOY. Since June saw good demand and pickup in the replacement market and OEMs, it is positive in the short term. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Mestec had its call yesterday, and management indicates good growth in FY22, although the company has not given any guidance. Management expects FY21 operating margins to be stable for FY22. Q2, there will be impact of wage hike, which will be offset with higher growth. With this outlook is positive for the company. Share is trading at 23.2 times FY23 EPS. Tejas Network has posted its result. The result has declined. Share is trading at 31.4 times TTM EPS. Newgen Software has posted okay set of numbers for the quarter. For the year, management has not given any revenue guidance. However, expects a growth year for FY22. Over a long term, management indicates of targeting to coming back to its 20% growth rate. For FY22, management expects FY22 EBITDA margin to be in the range of 23 to 25%. FY21 EBITDA margin stood at 28.5%. Q3 and Q4, there would be incremental travel expense happening. Share is trading at 33.8 times FY22 EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Shyam Metallics came up with its result, and the result has improved. Revenue has increased by 5% quarter on quarter at 2,465 crores. EBITDA has also increased by almost 10% Q on Q. Margins have improved by 100 basis points Q on Q. Then JSW also came up with its result, and the result has declined. EBITDA was down by 10% Q on Q at 185.2 crores. Margins was also down by almost 100 basis points at 12.7% Q on Q. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Asian Paints announced their results. Results came during the market hours. Though the results were marginally below expectations, we saw that the stock moved up, given because the demand outlook given by the management is very strong. They have already taken price hike to combat the higher inflation, and also announced 1% additional price hike from 1st July onwards. The volume growth has been very, very strong at around 106% YOY, given the lower base last year. So we are positive on this company. We maintain a positive outlook from the long-term point of view. Jubilant Ingrevia announced the results, and results have improved. The management expects FY22 performance to be better than FY21, given higher realizations and improved volumes. However, we need to be a little cautious on this, given that the acetic prices have started correcting. In Q1, it was hovering around $1,000. It has now started coming down, and now it is around $880 kind of dollars per metric ton. Because given the sharp run up in the stock, we are changing and becoming little cautious on this. Polycab announced their results, and results were below expectations. Though the sales grew by 92% YOY, given the lower base last year, margins came lower at 7.4% expectations versus 11%. Syngene's results were also below expectations for the quarter. Gland Pharma has announced the results, and results were of expectations. The company is maintaining their strong momentum, and likely we believe that it would continue in the future also. So we do have a positive outlook on this company. Rallis announced the results, and results were below expectations. Jubilant FoodWorks announced were in line with expectations. SSG came at 104% versus expectation as 131. However, the EBITDA margins were better at 24% versus expectation of 22%. Thank you.
Yeah. DCM Sriram also announced the result. Here, all other divisions results has declined except chlorovinyl division, that is caustic soda and PVC. That has done well. That's why overall profitability looks good. One thing need to be watched in this is the sugar division. The profitability of the sugar division has come off sharply. Last year, same quarter, the company has done a bit of around 72 crore, which has come down to 23 crore. This is mainly because of decline in revenue from sugar and also decline in power profitability. As the sugar mills closed bit early this year, and the incremental cost for the sugar were higher, and also the power generation which happens during the mill when the mills are running was not there, so that has led to lower profitability. One should be watchful that this can happen in other sugar company as well. So sugar stocks results quite possible can be soft in the coming quarter. Whereas on the chlorovinyl side, caustic soda has shown good results, and quite possible that the other caustic soda company also can repeat good results. So need to be watchful on the caustic soda company side, result side. Then, apart from that, Supreme Industry came up with a number. The numbers were below expectation, mainly impacted by volume. If we see the plastic volume declined by 22% as compared to last year. Last year also it declined by around 9%, 19%. And further to that, it has declined by 22%, mainly impacted by the rural economy. Rural, this time there was a larger impact of COVID and the demand got impacted. Another thing is plastic pipe volume also declined by around 36%. So quite surprisingly, the impact was very high. In fact, this is as such is a generally a soft quarter for all the plastic companies, but the decline is surprisingly high. But considering all these things, quite possible the stock may see some reactions. But what management has indicated that the overall in the during the year they will be able to recover whatever has been lost in the first quarter. So that is a positive commentary which has come from the management. So any major decline in the stock on this account can be considered to buy the stock. Then Havells India came up with the numbers, and the numbers were quite good. In this pandemic year, they had seen very good growth in their or most of the divisions. Switchgear division sales went up by around 100%, and then cable by 75, lighting by 52. Most of the segment has shown very good results. Even the Lloyd division has also shown good growth. Though there was a low base, but all these growth came ahead of market expectations, and even the margins were also comparatively good. So overall outlook on the Havells India is positive. So in all these results, what we see that need to be watched in today's trade are Havells India, ICICI Pru. One need to be watchful of these results, which can show comparatively better performance. And uh, yeah, that's all. And now results for next Saturday. So ICICI Bank is likely to report numbers, and numbers are likely to. We had seen that HDFC Bank has seen pressure on the performance. Similar way, the expectations from the larger bank has reduced, but quite possible that the ICICI may come up with a better number as it was in the last year case. But anyhow, the provision slippage expectation is a bit higher at around 4,250 crores. And growth is the key thing. Last quarter, they grew by around 13% advances ahead of all industry. So if similar trend is coming in this quarter as well, then quite possible the stock may outperform. Uh, though the expectation of the results is comparatively low, but we feel ICICI can be outperformer and have a positive outlook on that. Then ITC is likely to report number. We may see quarter-on-quarter decline of around 13% in revenue and 11% in EBITDA. Overall, FMCG is likely to grow higher in this quarter, and margin are also likely to show improvement. So overall result can be positive for ITC. Then the valuation are at around 14 times. In IMFA is likely to report number, and the numbers are likely to be better. Last quarter it reported EBITDA of around 129 crore, and this quarter it is expected to report EBITDA of 155 crore. So quite positive on the result side. And then MCX is likely to report results, and result is likely to be more of a flattish quarter on quarter. Then result for Monday. Uh, Axis Bank is likely to report numbers, and again here the key thing to watch is the asset quality. Credit cost is likely to remain high in this quarter, and also margin is likely to remain stable. Loan growth expected at around 12%, and valuations are comparatively attractive at around 2.4 times as compared to ICICI Bank 3 times and HDFC Bank 4 times. So Axis Bank looks comparatively better. Then Kotak is likely to report number, Kotak Bank. Loan growth expected at around 11%, and margins are likely to remain stable. Asset quality quarter on quarter is likely to show some decline, and valuations are at around 5.4 times price to book value. Then Coromandel International is likely to report numbers are likely to be more of a stable. DLF is likely to report number. This being pandemic quarter, the new booking will be soft, but what we had seen that they were able to take price increase and which is likely to have a positive sentiment for the stock. They were able to take price increase in a different part of the properties from 8 to 10%, which can act as a positive. Glaxo Pharma is likely to report numbers is likely to be improving. Year-on-year revenue growth of around 22%, and EBITDA is likely to expand from around 18% to 22%. And stock is trading at around 37 time FY23 earning. Then Kirloskar Ferrous is likely to report number. We had seen that the Tata Metallic pig iron division has performed well. So quite possible Kirloskar Ferrous result will also be better. Then L&T is likely to announce results, and Q1 being a soft quarter, margins are likely to come down, and also the executions were likely to be lower. Valuations are at around 18 times. Commentary in their balance sheets was quite strong for L&T for the year. So overall outlook for a bit longer period is comparatively positive for L&T. Navin Fluorine is likely to report number, and more of a stable type of number they are likely to report. Then Tata Motor is likely to report number. They had already given warning for their earning for this quarter. So result is likely to be more of a declining. EBITDA margin is expected at around 8.7% as against 15% in the last quarter. So stock has already seen decline post this warning of the result. Then Vedanta is likely to report numbers are likely to be better. Margin is likely to improve from 32 to 35%, And though the volume are Hindustan Zinc result will come on Friday, which is also likely to show some improvement. So overall, Vedanta result is also likely to show improvement. Visakha Industry is likely to report number. We feel one should be careful in that. What we had seen in the Supreme Industry result, that the rural part of the business got impacted very heavily, and Visakha Industry key business is to supply into rural market, so their business is also likely to get impacted heavily. So one need to be careful in Visakha Industries. Then Gensar Technology is likely to report number. Again, result is likely to show quarter-on-quarter improvement. Revenue is likely to grow by around 4.6% and margin is likely to remain stable. Then Mahindra and Mahindra Finance is likely to report number. Here again, seasonally weak quarter and the credit cost will be higher. So more of a result will be declining. Then SBI Life is likely to report number in this quarter, and numbers are likely to be year on year will show improvement. VNB is likely to increase by around 48% year on year, and VNB margin is also likely to show improvement to 21.5 from last year and last quarter 19%. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.